There, you can focus. Hello YouTube, we're going to make a spinner knob for our garden tractor steering wheel. We have a nice one on our John Deere. This is for the one we mow with. I don't know what size bit that is. See that? You got to get that hole straight. So you start out with a real small bit. That's about the best you're going to get. I'm going to go real slow. And if I have to, I'll use a bit smaller than this bolt and kind of wobble it back and forth. It doesn't have to be accurate, but you just don't want it wobbly when you're using it. The bolt will go all the way through. Here, get in view. Plenty enough. We're going to have a piece of metal strap that bends around the steering wheel. And this will have a nut locked here. Then you'll have another. You'll see as we go. Come on, get it in frame. You can do this. Yeah, I don't know what size bit that is. It's probably just under a quarter, but we'll finish drilling that, and then we'll come back and show you how straight it is. Just another quick clip. We'll show you how straight it is so far. We're doing pretty good. You gotta kind of adjust. You know what I mean. We'll make it. Gotta be careful. We don't want to explode this out here. We may stop and drill from the opposite way. We don't want this to fracture. Okay, 3 times I made that mess. I'd rather use my cheap electric drill that doesn't have as much torque, because this is my new one. It has as much torque with a low battery when it's fully charged. I mean, it has a lot of torque. It'll get away from it, but I think that's straight enough. Like I said, you maybe feel it in your hand. Not too much worried about the threads wearing the plastic out. There's a little wobble. The ideal thing would be to have a metal bushing in there at least, but I ain't too worried about it. I want to keep it this color, and I can polish this. There's only a few scratches on here. Next is take the square part off using the grinder. So I got just enough bolt. We're going to try to bend this. This is a piece of aluminum yardstick, because that way we can kind of polish it. I cut a yardstick down to 18 inches one time, 1.5 feet. And this is made to make a little jig thing out of once. The reason I chopped up and bought a better one, because it just got so hard to read the numbers on it. I know it's a little too wide, but we can always shape it. I don't have a whole lot of luck bending aluminum. I've had it crack before. You can only warm it up. You almost better use a heat gun instead of a torch, because the stuff, if you've ever done it, you know what I mean. Let's show you down here where it doesn't matter. You know, you can bend this stuff by hand. It's almost better putting gloves on. And I don't care how much I waste. If I make a nice bend, it'll make around the steering wheel. I don't care if this sticks out an inch too far. You know, I just want the shape. This is all scrap anyway, so we'll bring you back when we get this part bent. I just wanted to show you that if you take your time, start with a small bit, and in here I might as well show you, if people have never seen this. This is a set of lights. It's that wire in there. They're like a set of grapes that hung up. Well, they're probably worth $100-some on eBay now. Not back in the 80s when I kept it forever and ever, and finally scrapped it in the early 2000s something. Started making shifter knobs, giving them away, and those things on a string. If you're old as me, them connector knobs, they're on YouTube. That toy where you smack them together, yeah, talk about a dangerous toy. I'm rather pleased with that. There, let me get it better. It's gonna be a long rambling video. I'm rather pleased with that. Yeah, we're gonna try a spinner knob. That saves the hand over turning. See, you had these back in the 50s, so you could steer the old cars with standard, not power steering. So you could have one arm around your girlfriend, and you could steer the car with one hand. Bet you didn't know that, did you? They were called necking knobs. I'm not lying, that's true. Okay, this is approximately the size of the steering wheel. This is what we're attempting to do. Bend this around. This will be the top, so it'll come off the wheel, and here'll be the knob that way. We're attempting to bend it like this. We made this angle with the Tremo wrench. It's got these nice jaws. That's why I bought this, so I can bend flat steel with it. So we'll see what happens. Well, okay, we're using the C-clamp. This will be at the top, because it'll be a little bit more flatter than down here. I think you know what I mean. You'll see when we're done. I just wanted to show you some short clips here. Okay, our progress so far. I think this will work pretty good. And I want to be away from the steering wheel ways to get a little more leverage. So it's like the steering wheel is like 1 inch bigger. You know what I mean. Here's the steering wheel. I'll be out here a little more leverage. So we're going to cut this and at least grind halfway back here to round this off. I don't think we're going to dip in right here or nothing. This may polish up pretty good because it's aluminum. It took a little bit to bend this. I had to take my clamps, even my little one, and keep squeezing it. Now when I put this on the steering wheel, I have to spread it apart. So it will go back together. It might be a little bit of fight to get the nut started on the bolt, but it will go back together. I'm going to have to kind of spring it apart. You know, then maybe take my needle, those vice grips, a rag or something, clamp it down a little bit, just get the bolt started. So we'll have a nut like this, and then it'll be locked on there, and a nut on the other side. So we have plenty of bolt. I actually just bought the right amount. Okay, let's get back to work. We just want to show you some of our progress. Well, I'm really impressed. I tried the gray polish. Black's too aggressive. Blue looks really good on steel, gives me the most luster. This looked kind of like the black does. It looks smeary. I didn't really want to use on aluminum because you get that stuff in, you might not get it out. So I used the brown, rouge or brown. They call it brown. It's really not the rouge. I'm really impressed. And this is just a basic wheel. See where it's dull? Which is good enough for a tractor, but we want to go all out. Yeah, I like that. It should put me a little ways off the steering wheel. I get a little more leverage. My other one sits actually on top of the wheel almost. I've showed it before. This, I'm trying to get a little more leverage, but see, you can adjust the play in here with this nut. Then when you tighten this nut down, so I'll have 2 wrenches out there to do that. And I'm not too worried about a lock washer. The thing is, you got to spread this all apart and get it on there. We're hoping it still will grip the steering wheel tight, not do that flop all over. If that does, you can put like a wooden dowel or something in there where there's always a gap on a steering wheel. You know, imagine that's the steering wheel. You can always put something in there to take that gap up. So there's ways of making them work. The old tractors had like 3 bolts that bolted on the piece that was molded. So this is my own invention. There you go. We're just going to buff the bolt next. And we might just use some brown for that. I've been saying it, the emery stones in my Dremel take the letters off. And so we're going to do the bolt. And do the ball with some blue real lightly because it's going to get worn and scratched. We'll buff it up real shiny first. So stay tuned. Just give me a long video on this thing. See, you can tell it was an old yardstick. Oh, there's a reason I was going to show you don't like that thing. Because one side's metric. And that don't work during carpenter work. Carpenter work, I want, like my other yards, it has measurements this way and the other way. I think you know what I mean if you do any carpenter work. The metric wasn't working for me years ago, so this thing got scrapped. Back to work. We're taking too long here. Okay, we are done. We'll have another video of it on the tractor at another time. I am about done for the day. This is our blue polish, which you got to be really careful on plastic. This is a little bit tougher than screwdriver handles, but it takes the real fine scratches out. But so I'm hoping to get the leverage from off the steering wheel that far. We can do it this way. So I'm off it a little ways. So I've been using 2-handed to turn it around. I think I can do it one-handed. But there you go. I showed you the difference of it. Just abrasive wheels and polish on this side. And thanks for watching. I'll take some nice pictures of this. I'll try to get it some nice shots there where it looks good. We had enough of this.